May I invite you for your speech?
Your Majesty, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you, Bishop Desmond Tutu, for your kind words and for allowing me to share this stage with you. Words cannot express how honored I am to receive the International Children's Peace Prize. I accept it on behalf of all children who strive to make a difference in the lives of others. To each of the previous International Children's Peace Prize winners, I am humbled and so excited to be in your company. To everyone at Kids' Rights, thank you for providing me with the opportunity. I really never imagined to be standing on this stage. What an incredible journey it has been from the first steps I took into the Bal Kunj Orphanage in India. It has now been 9 years since I began Empower Orphans, since my perspective on life completely changed. Before my journey began, I was a typical child growing up in the West. Like many of my peers, I was accustomed to all the privileges with which I had been born: a warm and secure house, plenty of food to eat, the ability to attend school, access to a doctor if I got sick, and most importantly, the unconditional love of my family. These were a given in my eyes, and they were the norm because everyone around me had the same. That is not to say, though, that I was not aware of the terrible poverty. Having visited family in India on numerous occasions throughout my childhood, I had seen children on the street begging for food, and my heart would break for them in the moment. But I really felt powerless to help them, and eventually I would return home to the United States and continue with my life as usual. All of that changed one day when I was 9 years old. While staying with my grandparents in India, we made our traditional visit to the local Bal Kunj Orphanage. Although I had been there several times before, something happened on this occasion that changed my life forever. I made a connection. On that day, I became friends with Gayatri, a girl from the orphanage, and it was through this friendship that I understood for the first time what it truly meant to have nothing. On that day, I met Gayatri. A group of girls from the orphanage was teasing her because she did not know her own birthday. I was shocked. For a 9-year-old growing up in the West, a birthday is one of the most anticipated times of the year, a time for gifts and celebration. I realized that something I treasured so dearly might not be available to all children. What seemed minuscule, but actually crucial at that age, made me understand the stark differences between our lives. And suddenly, it was clear to me what it really meant to be poor in the truest sense, to have no one to give you absolute love and no place to call home. For the first time, I considered the implications of these children's realities, not being able to go to school or receive medical attention. The futures that likely awaited these children terrified me. In that moment, I knew I had to take action to help these children have hope. I had to find my voice so that they could have one too. And thus, Empower Orphans was born. When I came back to the United States, I began to organize fundraisers for the orphans. My plan was simple: to help the children escape the shackles of poverty through better education and healthcare. As I grew up, though, and matured, I realized that this was a dream I could not achieve on my own, and thus my goals for Empower Orphans evolved to include educating other young people and uniting them for the purpose of empowering disadvantaged children. My experience has made me appreciate the power of a ripple effect. Imagine throwing a pebble into a pond. The first ripple is small, but then you watch in awe as the ripples become larger and larger. And just so is the impact of one person with an idea or a mission that speaks to the heart. Over the years, hundreds of other youth have joined me in supporting Empower Orphans. One example is the story of Rushil, a 9-year-old boy who had to complete a school project about heroes. I was brought to tears when I learned that instead of selecting Superman or Batman, he actually chose me. And beyond sharing the good work of Empower Orphans, this boy took his efforts even further by convincing his classmates to raise money to buy 3 goats for a family in need in Africa. My young friend's beautiful example not only impacted his school and friends in a lasting way, but also a family on another continent. Reflecting on the impact of Empower Orphans, I realize how much it has also influenced the person that I am becoming. One of my favorite sayings is, throw your heart out in front of you and run ahead to catch it. I realize that although I'm still young, I have been chasing my heart for many years now. I have found my passion, which is giving hope to others and surfacing the beauty within them, enabling them to rise from their struggles. Now, I will throw my heart out even further as I study to become a pediatric doctor, pursuing my passion for service through the power of healing. Youth around the world, no matter what your passion might be, this is our time to stand up and let our voices be heard. It is our time to be the igniters of change. Find a cause that touches your heart, convert your empathy into action, and then let those actions ripple out. Be an unstoppable force for good that reaches your friends, your community, and your world. I extend to you all an invitation to engage in the world, to make a difference in the lives of the kids who are sick and in need of care, who have to fight for their educational rights, who simply need our love. Not only will your actions make a difference in someone else's life, but it will also enrich your own. Together, we can bring about real and lasting change and create a world in which each life is made whole, full of promise, hope, and compassion for others. Thank you.